Hello, my friends. Good evening. Hi, mein Hase. Welcome, welcome. Tuesday night painting. Guys, my name is Angela and I am the owner and creative energy from Elfen Helden. I'm a primary retailer for Dixie Bell over here in Frankfurt in Germany. I'm calling it Tuesday night painting because it is 9 p.m. over here. When you tune in, just let me know where you're watching from and what time it is at your area. So, hallo Kerstin, grüß dich. Hallo Fatima, schön, dass du dabei bist. Okay, guys. Last week we started with this blended piece. We used loads of blues with it. We started at the bottom with the Bunker Hill blue, which went into the cobalt blue, which went into the dusty blue. Blueberry, sorry, which went into the blueberry, from the blueberry into the haint blue. The haint blue went into mermaid tail and finally into antebellum blue on top. So loads of blues blended together. Hi, Brigida. Hi, Sarah. Hi, Jessie. Thank you for joining me. That's great. So many people. That's fantastic. Yes, if you have any questions, just leave it in the comments. I will try to answer it straight away if I'm not getting to it straight away. Thank you, Fatima. Hi, Holly. If I'm not answering it straight away, I will check for it later or tomorrow because it's probably a little late when I'm finished here. Okay, guys, this is what we've done last time. I've already done the second coat, so this is basically finished. And I've planned on putting on it a transfer, which I'm keeping the plan. Surprise, surprise. Often enough changing it. I was thinking about it, but I stayed with that transfer. And it is from Orchid Designs. It is the Wildflower Botanicals. And it's like 4 separate flowers where I'm using 2 flowers. That's the ones which are upside down, the white one and the blue one. Yeah, you can see them now like this. Because I think they go nicely with it. And I don't want to overload it because I want to keep basically the nice blending behind it. I don't want to cover it up all. So, before we apply the transfer, this is from company to company different. Hi, Donna. 1 p.m. Okay, this is what always confuses me. You have in the US, you have even there different time zones, So in Germany, we have one time zone. This is basically, hallo Sabine. This is basically in Europe we have different time zones, but in Germany itself it's just one time zone. So whenever I communicate with friends in the US, it's like, what time are you on? And I'm always confused. So okay, with the Iron Orchid design transfers, it is recommended to, especially when you work with chalk mineral paints, because they are open pores. And just to close those pores and make it a little more smoother, it is recommended to put a top coat on there. Hi, Dixie Bell. Thank you. You should seal it. I've tried it with the Dixie Bell paints without. It also works, but if you want to make sure that there's no issue or whatever, just put a 1 coat of top coat on there and you're perfectly fine. The Dixie Bell chalk mineral paints, they have a built-in sealer, so they're not as open porous as other paints. So I've chosen for sealing it the top coat satin because I think it brings out the blues much nicer. So the top coat satin. Yes, Miss Muscle. So let's see if there are any questions. Mary, thank you. It's in on top of the description, or maybe Dixie Bell, you can put my page into the comments. That'll be absolutely fantastic. So, oh, hi, Angela from Belgium. Thank you for joining. So the top coat satin is pretty. It looks white, but it clears. It dries clear, and it's got almost like a gel type of character, and it's very easy to apply. But also with the top coats, mix them up nicely. I'm just stirring it up really, really well now before I use it. And also what I like to do, I pour it in a separate container because I don't want to contaminate basically the top coat. I've done that before, so I know what I'm talking about. So, noon in Southern California. So, about a top coat, my first piece. Which top coat are you using, Melissa? Just let me know. Which top coat are you plan on using? So, that should be mixed up nicely. So I've got the Dixie Belle Mini, and I've got, for the top coats, I've got a separate mini so that this is basically not contaminated with anything else also. So now I'm just going to pour a little in here. Also with this, a little goes a long way. So I'd rather pour a little more out than having clear coat glossy or gator hide, not sure. Okay, if you use gator hide, Melissa, make sure you put one coat of the glossy underneath. It makes much easier to apply the gator hide. This is my tip for you, and the glossy goes on easily, just try the glossy, that goes on very easy, and then you can go over it with the gator hide. Try it on a sample board first, just to get used to it. Yeah, that's right. If it gets used a lot, that's the perfect choice. So this is the satin. When I use my top coats, I like to work with a dry brush. Usually I do dampen it a little bit, but when I top coat, I like to work with a dry brush. Always, as with the products from Dixie Belle, or most of the products, less is more. And so you're supposed to apply with the wood grain, which you obviously can't see anymore. So I'm going basically with the blending down here. And the other side is already prepared. I'm just going to slap that top coat on together with you. And you can see how easily that goes on. The nice thing is, as it is a little white, when it's wet, you can see where you've put it. So, and then just spread it out, put it on there and just spread it out. And the satin also, they are easy to apply. And whenever you use the gator hide, make sure you put one coat or two coats of another top coat underneath. So, because gator hide dries really, really quick and it hasn't got a long open time. And otherwise it grips too quickly to the chalk mineral paint. That's what I like to do anyway. So if anybody else got another tip, I appreciate to hear that. So, does the satin actually, the Moonshine Metallics, you don't need to seal, Peggy. The Moonshine Metallics, they've got a built-in sealer, so, you don't need to seal that. And the satin, well, it'll dull that just a tiny little bit, not much. But as I said, you don't need to seal the Moonshine Metallics. So this is basically, you know, how you prepare that for putting a transfer on. There's like other transfer companies. I've used Redesign. You don't need to put a sealer underneath with those. But with the IOD transfers, it is recommended. As I said, it works like this. I've tried it, but if you want to make sure it really adheres, that's Hi Dana, my website is well, if you go to I've got my Facebook page in the description of the video, and oh, thank you, Brigida, you're a star. Bridget just put it in there. Thank you, girl. That's sweet. Thank you so much. Okay. So now I'm just going to turn that. Gotta be a bit careful because those 3-wheel dolly type roll things, they don't work very much for me. I'm not very good with those. I will do the same with the front, but I will get to the transfer and I will do some stenciling over the transfer also with the Moonshine Metallics actually. So I first thought about doing like a little bit of aging with sea spray. I'm not doing that because I quite like this look, so I don't want to actually destroy that. So this is the stencil we're going to use later on also to put on there, and I have not decided if I'm going to use the silver bullet or the gold digger. So this is something I leave to choose for you again. Please help me out there. If you want to have the silver bullet or the gold digger for the stenciling over the transfer, just put it in the comments. Dixie Belle, just let me know which one is the final choice. And I'm just saying, I've got paint on my shirt. I was wearing that the whole day in the shop, so well, whatever. Okay, so I've already cut my flowers apart, and the white one is longer than the blue one. Hi Belinda from Wales, thank you. It's nice. Yes. Whoever is following me knows that I like to throw things around. So I see gold, one gold. Don't forget to tell me if you want to see gold or silver. Gold digger, silver, silver, silver. Oh, that'll be a difficult one. Or maybe I use both. You never know. Silver, gold. Okay. I think the comments are a little delayed. So what I've done, because the other flower is a little longer than this one, I just cut like a bit of the bottom off, and I'm going to like add it to this one. So okay, you see when I've cut it apart, I've put some tape to make sure that it stays on this protection sheet on the backing. Because if it comes off there, it'll stick just to anything, even your fingers or something like that. Here it says both. I'm probably ending up using both. It might be quite interesting because it's like basically both. Okay, island, Haita Island, gold, silver, gold, silver. I think I use both. So let's stick the transfer on first, and I'm going to eyeball as per usual. I usually don't measure where I'm putting my things. It's too time consuming. So I'm just about, this is about the middle. What do you say, guys? I think this is about fine. What do you think? Like this. And I've got this one at the bottom. Just stick that on here for now. So this side I've already sealed yesterday with the top coat satin. So, and as I want to have it go down pretty far, so where did I put that little piece now? Up there. So, let me see. It's gonna go. It's gonna go. I will start with that little piece because I want to have it right to the bottom, right here. So I'll put my stick, and those Iron Orchid Designs transfers, they come with this little plastic stick. And what you do, you basically, when you know where you want to put it, you just stick it on there, and then you rub it with that little piece on there. So then you see that it gets a little milky. Then it adhered to the surface. So no, that's IOD Peggy, Iron Orchid Designs. So hi Amy, thank you for joining me. So okay. Now I'm going to put that further down to that stem, just to make sure it's about the top of it. Just like this. And just about like that. Okay. I'm going to have it here. That tape just helps, you know, that that you don't need to hold it down. So when you put the transfer on, you can either start from the middle, attach it from the middle and rub to the outside, or go from one end to the other. You know, you're not starting on top here, going a little down and then starting at the bottom and going up, because there might be, yes, it is, it's IOD, Amy, that's right. Because otherwise you may end up having like a bubble in the middle, and it's folding up at the end. So what do you think? That's a pretty flower, isn't it? I love it. So, and then you just rub it on there. Use your stick. I don't know if you can hear this little crackling. This crackling is basically, thank you, Malouane, that's right, yeah, it's IOD, Wildflower Botanicals. This crackling is basically a sign that the transfer is adhering to the surface and being released from that backing sheet. That needs a little elbow grease. Do you hear that? And then you can see that it basically, it gets like a bubble. And this is when it's released to the, basically to the project. And you can basically then later on, you can paint over the transfers. And you can also wax over the transfers. You can do that also. So, hi Diana. 9:30 p.m. here in Egypt. That's right, Egypt. We're about the same time zone. That's right. So. then you can basically see if it is releasing. So there's like a bit coming off, so I'm just laying it back down, rubbing on it a little more, and there you go. Works beautifully. And then obviously you can paint flowers yourself, but it's sometimes easier to use something like this. And you can see it's releasing pretty easy, I would say. So, hi Vicky. Thank you, Victoria. Thank you, Denise. Yes, I love it too. So that's why I thought, I didn't want to overload it, and I think they're just like outstanding on their own. And as I said, if there's just like not everything transferred, you can just like lay it back down, rub it a little more. There you go. So when I've got it completely on there, almost there. Tiny. Yeah. And this is a very thin sheet. So this is not it's a very thin layer later on here, there's like you won't feel it when you move your hand over it, which is the nice thing about it, and it covers really nicely. So almost there, guys. Just a little bit of the stem now. Would have been easier to do the other way around, so you don't need to hold the top if it loosens from the bottom, but I like to do it sometimes the more complicated way. So that's it, done, and now it's on here. What do you think? Is that pretty or what? I love it. You like it? Can I see some hearts, please? So, showing them. Yes, Peggy. If you go back to last week, same time on the Dixie Belle page or on my page, you will see the video with the blending. And I also done one in German with the blending. So for burnishing, so that it really touches the surface, that you make sure that it adheres at all the really onto that project. I use the finishing pad from Dixie Bow to burnish it down. If you don't have a finishing pad, you can use the backing also and rub it over it. You know, that works also. I like to use the finishing pad. It is not taking anything down from the transfer itself. And if you go, especially around those edges, there is with some of the transfers, there's a pretty big, what's it called, halo around. And if you use the finishing pad, you can erase that almost. Well, that obviously, you know, Nora, it obviously depends on the strengths you have, you know. So, I am not exactly Miss Muscle. So, this is now to really make sure that everything is adhered to the surface. Don't leave that part out. You know, this is very important to make sure that it basically stays on there at the end and it's not gonna come off. And there at the bottom you can see there's like, it looks a bit different, but we're going to stencil over that anyway. And it's got a bit of the rustic character anyway, so almost there. Can't see any edges anymore, which is the nice thing with the IOD transfers. They've got hardly any halos, and when you go over it with this finishing pad, they're completely gone. So there's other transfers where you can really see, even when you burnish them on, you still have those halos around, and that doesn't look very nice at the end. So that's that step, and now we're gonna come to stenciling. And as you guys chosen to have both colors, we're going to put both colors on there, I think. Hi Shirley, thank you. Glad you made it. So, okay. So, what you can do with your stencils, this is a reusable stencil, so it's got no sticky back. I've put some spray glue. This is a spray glue, which is you can reposition when you use it. You know, it's not like a permanent glue. You can reposition. So that's basically. Let's start at the bottom. This is just to that it sticks a little more onto the surface. So, put some tape on there to adhere it. And with stenciling, actually I'm just gonna get a plate. Hang on. Here again, the thing's dropping in the background. So. The stenciling, it works pretty nicely. So I'm just going to pour a little of both onto that plate, And I'm probably going to stay with my small stencil brush. This one is, from an artist company in Germany, which is called Da Vinci. And they're nice and firm, and they've got a flat front, so I like to use that for stenciling. When I have a big project and I'm lazy, I've got this one. So we see. Okay, Moonshine Metallics. Mix them up nicely also. Your paint makes that transfer. What do you mean, Judith? I don't quite understand that. So, this is the Moonshine Metallic Silver Bullet, which is a nice silver shine. Actually, I'm going to use first the paint out of the lid, see how far I can get. If I contaminate it, I'm not worried. I can clean the lid out later. I just don't want to get into the jar. That'll be interesting now. I'm glad, Dixie Belle. So, Gold Digger. So those are the colors you've chosen. So we see how we go. I've got my coffee. Excuse me. Could I have a drink? I can drink coffee at any time of the day. So get my baby wipes a bit closer to me. Actually, I'm just going to wrap up. Hang on for a second, guys. I'm going to wrap up my brush, which I use for the top coat satin, because I don't want to have it dried in there. I'm just wrapping it in a baby wipe. Put some more water on there and just put it into a plastic bag so that it doesn't dry into the bristles, because I want to top coat the front later on also, so I'm not putting it into water or something like that now. I can reuse it. So with stenciling, I have an old kitchen board which is upgraded to crafting. This is just from IKEA, it's just like a plain kitchen board. And yeah. So Amy does drink coffee all the time also. Yeah. And with stenciling, I just load my brush, and then I offload it on this board first, before I go onto my project. I can always grab some more paint, but I don't want to have any bleeding. That's why I am doing that. You can do the first coat when you stencil with a top coat also, which is going to seal the edges of the stencil. And then when you come in with your second coat, with your color for the stenciling, it won't, or it can't basically bleed through anymore. So let's come in with some silver bullet from the other side maybe. Same thing, offloading it, and I am using the same brush because those colors can mix now. This is basically now the whole idea. And the reason I'm offloading it is because I don't want to have the paint or the brush juicy. Because the juicier you work, the more chance there is for the paint to bleed underneath. If it happens, no big deal, as this is, you know, the flowers are also a little rustic and worn out, so this is just fine. So I'm gonna come in with the gold again. Actually, this is going to be quite funny. And I'm not going to I just want to have like a part down there being basically I'm not going to stencil the whole thing. I'm just going to stencil a part. Oh, no, offloading, don't forget it. And I'm going to do 2 coats with the Moonshine Metallics. I'm going to move it to up here, I think, and do a little silver up here. There. I've got no plan. This is just randomly where I think I want to have it. This is basically just to give it a little more character. Styrofoam, meat trays. That's correct, yes. But this one you can clean, you know. This is reusable, so to say. Okay, Moonshine Metallics dry pretty quick. So let's see if it's already dry down here. Go over it again. So now I know where I have my gold basically. So I'm going to stick with that in those areas. And this is still the paint out of the lid I'm using at the moment. Okay, up here it's not dry yet. You can notice because you're pulling the paint basically back up. But it's almost dry. You can see it's already covering. So now I'm just cleaning it off a little bit because I want to go in with the silver. Yes, I'm rushing, Dixie Belle. It's already 40 minutes again. Blimey. What is happening with the time? Time just flies when you're having fun, doesn't it? I should have used a bigger brush maybe, but so almost there, guys. Where I want to be. And I don't want it completely to cover. That's fine for me if it's a little just like dull in some areas. There we go. I think that's it. I'm going to leave it like this, and now I'm going to take it off. And let's see how we go. That's it. What do you think? I think that's quite cute. I quite like that. So there's one area, there's one spot here I don't want to have. And that's also the good thing because it was sealed. You can go in with your baby wipe and just make sure your fingers are clean. You do that, and you can just like take it off where you don't want to have it. Actually, I think that looks quite nice with the gold and silver. That was a great idea from you guys. Thank you for your help there. So, my friends, it is 40 minutes already. I hope you enjoyed this episode. Thank you, Diana. Thank you, Dixie Belle. Thank you, Victoria. Thank you so much, guys. I'm glad you like it. Merci beaucoup, Joël. Merci. So, that's it for tonight. I'm gonna let you go, guys. My name is Angela, and I am the owner and creative energy from Elfen Helden. I'm a primary retailer for Dixie Belle over here in Frankfurt in Germany. I would be very happy if you pop over to my page. It's in the description on top, and leave me a like there. I highly appreciate that. And if you have some more questions, just leave it in the comments. I will come back later to answer that for you. Or you shoot me a PM or whatever. So basically tonight we sealed the piece, we put the transfer on, and we've done some stenciling over the transfer. We used the Moonshine Metallics, and I hope you like that. Guys, I'm gonna let you go now. Thank you so much for joining me. You have a great evening, a great day, a great afternoon, whatever time it is at your place. And I hope to see you next week, Tuesday, same time. Bye-bye, guys. Thank you, bye.